Okay, I'm quickly going to do a 5-minute, maybe 10-minute presentation just quickly, and I'm going to get through Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Digibyte, and XRP, and then I'll cut this segment out and upload that for everybody to see. But then we are going to get into some questions and answers, guys, for everybody that are on webinars and that have got webinar access. We can ask some questions and we'll answer that. But look, everything is looking really good, guys. So let's start here with Bitcoin. Bitcoin hit this high point here of about 14,000. We dropped down into this box here, which is B. And you can see this pattern here. That purple pattern is just something that we drew in there. That is the algorithm pattern. This algorithm pattern has got an X, a Y, and a Z. That is the 3 jumps that we are going to see in Bitcoin before we head into this level here, which is $19,000, $20,000, round about that price there. We believe round about, or the exact figure could be about 19,666 for some reason. We also have this 53-day algorithm cycle, and you can see that that algorithm cycle started here at this point here where Bitcoin just jumped up into that CC plus. It went on towards this date here where Bitcoin jumped up again. And then if I just move this slightly down, you'll see that there's another 53-day algorithm cycle which started on this point here. And we made that loop, it went down, and we just now at that high point there. There's a lot of strength here in Bitcoin. And remember, we said that we are going to go sideways a little bit, then we're going to go upwards, sideways a little bit more, and then we're going to have a big spike. Now with Bitcoin, remember I said that this point here, in the last video that I did, that this point here, there's something there that we need to be careful of. I believe that that whole segment there, let me just mark that here. I believe that this segment of the algorithm, let me just make that. Computer is a little bit slow this morning. See this segment here, I believe that that is going to be cut out. Now I'm going to give you guys 2 options here that potentially can happen in Bitcoin. One is a faster option and the other one is a slower option. From this point here, you're going to see between today or tomorrow that we are going to break out of this yellow channel. That break is going to start there. If that break happens with a very big, a violent up move, expect that we could potentially hit this high point here around about 18 August. So that is the first move, which I will call the fast move. The reason is because this segment here in blue will be cut out. Now remember, guys, that everything in Bitcoin works with patterns. We don't know who controls it, but I tell you, there are people that control Bitcoin and they can do whatever they want in Bitcoin. I believe they're going to cut that out. The second option is a slower option, is where we will have that point and it will just go into that point there. And I'm just going to mark them here as point A, which is a slow option, or point B, which is a fast and a slow option. So keep in mind that those are the 2 options here, and we'll come back on the webinars and we are going to discuss that. But guys, what I can tell you is that we see Bitcoin rising with about 65% up to this level between 19 and 20,000. At that point there, when we get there, I'll explain to you further what's going to happen. Let's quickly get into Litecoin. Litecoin is perfectly on track. You can also see here that we've got the 53-day cycle dates here, those dates there. That cycle date ends here on 10 September. Litecoin literally breaks out upwards for 1,000% gain here between 9 and 12 September. Now, guys, I'm not saying that in one day it's going to go up to 1,000%. It takes months for the 1,000% gain to be achieved. The point is just at this point here, we see Litecoin going up. It goes up 100%, 200%, 300%, and more. And there's actually more than that, and we'll discuss that as well. You know, there's more than 1,000%. But at this point here, you can see that this algorithm line, this line here that we drew, if I move that, you can see that I can move that. Wendy, just make sure everybody's muted, please. Thank you. You can see that this algorithm line is something that we drew here, where we said that Bitcoin's going to go sideways, is then going to go and spike upwards. Initially, we had that at about $115. I believe that that high point there could perhaps be the high point, which was $107. In a video that we made two days ago, we said that I still want to see Litecoin spiking upwards and making a higher high. I don't believe, if I look at what's happening with Bitcoin now, that it could happen, but I'm not going to rule that out. Because remember, if you look at Bitcoin here, Bitcoin could make a spike upwards, and that could take Litecoin up as well. So just keep that in mind. Now, but my guess is here, if I look at what is in the algorithm data, is that Litecoin is going to go sideways and drop. It's very important that we take advantage of this drop. You can add to your positions. I'm not necessarily saying sell at this level and buy back on the low. You can try it if you want to. But for me personally, I'm just adding to positions, anything below $60 Litecoin. We then expect the market to go upwards here, and this is this heartbeat, guys, that we are talking about. Now, this low point here could be stopped anywhere between that green line or that orange line. So it could be $70, it could be 60, it could be 50. I don't know exactly at this point how low it's going to go, but I am expecting a low point here below $60. Keep that in mind. If it happens, it's a great entry point. What I want to see then is a big move upwards. Now that big move up could potentially be at the same time when Bitcoin moves up into 19 or 20,000, somewhere around there. But you can see what I mean with this heartbeat. We've got a downtrend, a uptrend, and then a downtrend is again a sideways action, and then a move into this point here, which is E. That'll give us a perfect heartbeat. Whether the heartbeat is shallow or large, it doesn't really matter, but I want to see a downtrend, a uptrend, a downtrend again, the ABCDE. Let's get into Ethereum. Ethereum is similar to Litecoin, where we do expect it also to drop. Again, similar to Litecoin, it didn't break out higher. We thought it's going to break out higher to about 271. It only came to this point here, which is about 238. I have not yet sold any Ethereum, but I'm going to add on to positions. I was going to sell Ethereum if Ethereum reaches about 271, but you are going to see, in my opinion now, that Ethereum is going to start to drop a little bit. It's going to do it like this, and you can see that that projectile going downwards is perhaps going to do just a slant downwards, and you can see you are going to see some really big drops here. Now again, guys, whether this gets stopped at this green line here, the point is that we do think that Ethereum must at least go lower than that point there. And what we have seen normally from an ABC correction, if you were to take the ABC correction, let me just quickly get that. Once you get a correction from a high point there, low point there, high point there, is normally that they should be almost equal in length. And see there why I say that we could easily hit about 146. It can even go as low as 119, breaking out of this blue channel. So keep in mind that I do believe that there is a little bit more downside in cryptocurrencies. You're going to see coins like, for example, NEO. Let me get into NEO. That NEO can potentially go down to about this level here of $8.30. And you can see how NEO is actually now capitulating really in small terms. So it's really making those lower candles. If it breaks below this point here, that $9.82, then I believe that it could go very low. These points here could even come down and touch this low point here of $6.80. So keep in mind that there could be a little bit more downside on these coins. Let's quickly get into Digibyte. Digibyte is exactly similar to XRP, and I'm going to explain XRP shortly. This 1920K is approximately here, somewhere here between this date here of 16, 17, 18 August up till about 21 August. And you can see where Digibyte creates this high point here of about 0.012 cents. So we do expect that green line to form where it will actually pinch Digibyte to a point, and then Digibyte is going to break out very nicely. XRP, nothing has changed on XRP. XRP again, expect one more lower low, round about the 27, maybe 26 cents. That will be a great entry point. We are going to see an uptrend here, in my opinion, between 19 and 20K, a bit of sideways action, and then here around about 10 September, we are going to see the breakout. Keep in mind, guys, that I said that Ethereum is the first coin that will show us the breakout. Once we get to this low point here, Ethereum starts breaking out here, the first coin that breaks out. Now, keep in mind that Ethereum starts breaking out, but at this point here, Bitcoin actually drops. Okay, so we will discuss this during this webinar. So this is the end of the presentation. If you want to get on the webinars, guys, make sure that you get on the live webinars. You can come here and ask your questions. So, guys, let's open for questions.